That routine.
Like when it comes on, it's just muscle memory.
Yeah, I've seen it so many times. I think I could do it.
That song reminds me of the football game, doesn't it?
Yeah, more so than the TV drama.
Right.
Yeah, halftime Leonard football games.
Jason just made his arms in the.
I did the routine.
He did the form.
Yeah.
The flying V. Is that what you called it?
When we have Miss Keegan's in, she can demonstrate maybe.
Yeah, Miss Becky can show us how to do that.
Yeah.
Give us a little backstory on the whole Dallas theme song too.
Yeah.
Probably it is. All right, you are with the After the Siren on the 12 o'clock Siren. Matthew Harvey here with James on my left.
Hello. And Jason to my left.
What's up?
We are hot off the press with Hannah Null.
Yeah,
formerly Hannah Busis for the locals that knew her as Hannah Busis.
Yeah, I've got the meat sweats.
She brought snacks.
From the snacks.
We got snacks. We got smoked cheese.
While she was discussing like awards, I was shoving my face full of meat, and y'all were talking about yield and 50% versus 80%, and I was like, that sounds like my BMI. You know?
You're just pounding meat snacks and cracking oat sodas.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Smoked cheeses, smoked meats, a tri-tip that to die for. Not even off the smoker or grill. It's just good stuff.
Yeah, that stuff was cold, like chilled. And still tender somehow.
Yeah, still enjoyable. You know, it's funny. Hannah came on here, and I haven't seen Hannah since I was in 8th grade, and had a great time chatting with her.
Yeah, Hannah was great.
Yeah, she was a lot of fun.
So thanks, Hannah.
Thank you very much, Hannah, and to the Bluebonnet Meat Company, Trenton, Texas.
Absolutely.
Go see them, pay them a visit.
BluebonnetMeatCompany.com.
Get an adventurous cut of meat, too.
Yeah, do something out of the norm, and support your local businesses while doing it.
Ask them to guide you, because they certainly will.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And bring me some stuff.
They know their stuff. We had a busy weekend since last interview with Mr. Gene Martin.
What did you guys do?
Oh, well, here it is. Matthew and I revisited our youth, and we went to a Slipknot concert 15 years later.
My wife surprised me with a ticket to Slipknot and a boys' night with James Harley here.
Excuse me, his wife and his friend surprised him because we colluded.
Sure, I think it was behind my back.
It was.
I bought a Slipknot album in Virgin Records store in New York City one time.
Oh, I was on the famous
the infamous road trip
Lord.
with Randy Swallows. Yeah.
So Slipknot.
That's the only thing I have to show from that trip.
That's a badge of honor.
Yeah. That so there was probably Slipknot and Pantera played.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. That was the soundtrack to the road trip.
And the Metallica with
miles.
Symphony.
Oh,
I love that album.
We jammed that the whole way.
Yeah.
I listened to it 2 weeks ago in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee.
So good.
As we drove
And a
in.
lot of Tom Petty.
Wait, which one did you listen to?
S&M.
Oh, yeah.
They're coming out with a new one in theaters and
They
stuff.
are.
I'm very interested.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool.
Maybe we can have them on the podcast.
Yeah, that'd be cool. The
James Hetfield?
San Francisco Orchestra, right?
Yeah. Maybe Papa Het will come sit in too. Who knows?
Yeah. Slipknot was
No
great.
Lars,
they
though.
played some 5 tracks off the first album that, of course, we're familiar with.
Yep.
If you're like me, you probably fell off after that.
Were they with Mask?
Maybe got.
Oh,
They
yeah.
were with.
Yeah.
They were with
Yeah.
Mask.
Have
yeah.
they gone without Mask?
Not in Slipknot.
Oh, okay.
That's their thing.
Oh, okay.
I'll tell you though.
Still all the original members?
No.
There's
The
been
drummer's
a couple.
gone now, right?
Drummer had
Interesting story.
Had some health.
What was he, Zero?
issues. I think no, that's the DJ.
Oh, okay.
Joey Jordison, the drummer, he lost the use of his left leg. Starting in like 2010, he had this. I actually looked it up today. It's some medical problem anyway, but he's actually better now. So he's in other bands now. It took a lot of medical help and rehab. But yeah, there's a few new members, but it's mainly there's 9 people in that band.
Right. So that's cool. Where'd you guys see Slipknot at?
That was the Starplex,
Jexa, Dos
Coca-Cola,
Equis, Smirnoff.
The one with the
Singular.
Yeah,
lawn. The big one with
we
the
were
lawn.
on the lawn.
That has a different name every year.
And let me
the
tell
one with
you,
the lawn.
I'm a fan of heavy metal music, right? I did not expect the amount of didgeridoo in my metal. What did we call it? Outback core or koala core?
Koala core.
More didgeridoo.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't expect
Volbeat was the opening act for Slipknot, which was cool.
Yeah.
They're Danish.
They are from Denmark, yes, I believe. We missed Gohira and Behemoth. Yeah, we didn't make it to that. We went with
Fest tour, which was Corey Taylor made a mention to the fact that one of the first times they came to Dallas, they were playing outside of this very amphitheater we were in.
In the parking lot.
In the parking lot on the second stage of
Ozfest, yeah.
Which is pretty cool to have come that far and have your own tour like that and be packing the place to the gills.
20 years later.
20 years later, yeah.
Because that was in 99. So
And still bringing it, too.
They are, man. It was really good, really
a
good.
lot of screaming, man, boy.
Yeah, and, he's almost 50, and I'm like, man, his vocal cords are still hanging out, like, pretty good. It was really good.
Stage looked good.
He's busy with several bands. Is that
Stone
correct?
Sour. As in Stone Sour, and he's also...
And he has his solo thing.
Yeah, I think they call it the, like, Beer Junk Kidnap Band or something. It's weird, but it's basically Corey Taylor.
Stage looked good. They had some cool fire stuff. I wish the percussionists were still on the scissor lifts that moved.
Yeah.
That was a really cool
Are they
effect.
together?
They're in place. They're just on big pedestals, basically.
Here's a fun
And
fact.
everything's on a TV screen.
The drummer that replaced Joey Jordison is the son of Conan O'Brien's original drummer, Max Weinberg, in the Magnificent Seven.
Cool.
Yeah, Max Weinberg introduced his 14-year-old son to Slipknot however many years ago, and then now he's the drummer. So it's pretty cool. It was good. There was a disproportionate. I also went to a concert this Tuesday with my wife.
Same venue, right?
Same venue, set in the same spot.
Was
as
your
we
butt
were in.
spot still there on the grass?
Well, we yes, and we rented lawn chairs this time though.
Yeah.
That was
the ones with the short legs in the back.
Yeah.
Those are cool.
However, there is what I've noticed now as a 35-year-old man still going to like heavy concerts. There is a disproportionate amount of skinny, like white dudes in cargo shorts, backwards white hats with no shirt on, and cigarettes behind their ear. It's like its own subculture. It's like you got the kickers, and you got you got your like urban style dress people, and then you got like concert bros. It's kind of weird. So I don't know.
Shout out to the concert bros.
Yeah.
And dude bros.
Frat
daddies.
for sure. But it was fun, man.
Yeah, we had a good time. Went to the Lakewood Landing, little dive bar in the Lakewood area of Dallas.
Yeah, shout out to Stefan, the bartender. Really good time. He steered us right on the menu, and he has also been training Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for 11 years.
Cool.
So he's probably a
He had a lot
dangerous
to
man.
say.
He did have a lot to say.
It was a lot of fun. We like to just try out some weird little bar on the way to a show, and this place had all the hits, man.
Yeah.
Burgers,
Wings,
cold beers,
Budweiser on tap.
frozen glass.
Yeah.
Nice
good.
Conversation, low vibe,
Yeah,
Cool.
I liked it.
stinky bathroom.
Yeah.
There
You
you
know, what more can you ask for?
Afterwards, after the show, we went to the Velvet Taco, where I proceeded to have one of the most embarrassing experiences of my life.
I embarrassed
Sounds
myself the next
dirty.
day. matter of
Sounds like a
fact,
gentleman's club.
in front of my wife and her, the youngest.
Well, let me tell you, not only did I embarrass myself with the amount of food I ordered and consumed. Have you ever had one of those situations where you're taking a drink of your drink and it just hits you wrong and you have to cough immediately? I did that, and
Did you spit drink everywhere?
well, of course, at being the Southern gentleman I am, I covered my mouth. So when you cover your mouth, it leaves two exits, and
I
that's
forgot
to the
about
side.
that.
Which I proceeded to get Matthew wet with
All over
Modelo
everybody to
or
his
something.
left and right.
Yeah, and then I heard a "Oh my God" to my right. I couldn't look her in the eye. Like I'm a 35-year-old grown man, and I could not look her in the eye.
He
to say,
actually
"I'm
covered
sorry."
his eyes.
I did. I
Who
just
was it?
looked at. I don't know. It was just
Just
some
random lady.
Yeah, just random lady sitting next. I felt so bad.
She got accidentally spit on.
She did. She did.
You should have blamed it on someone.
I know. I should be like, Matthew, what are you doing? Anyway, it was horrifying for me.
It was quite funny.
Yeah. For us.
Yeah.
Not sure for her.
What was up with your weekend there, Jason?
Uneventful. Nothing exciting to report. I'm
No
sorry.
doves killed?
Nah.
Did you go hunting?
I watched some football, and that's about it.
Oh, football.
Cowboys, man. They look
Michael
really good.
Gallup.
Good
son.
Lord.
He's on my fantasy team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good pickup.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know anything about football, but
Sure.
I won.
Did your Aggies win?
They did not.
Who'd they play?
Number 1, Clemson. At Clemson.
Okay. Number one at
That's
at
okay
Clemson.
then.
Yeah, they lost by 2 touchdowns. And I watched...
Not heartbroken?
I mean, I kind of expected it. I watched Texas and LSU. That was a pretty good game, too. Texas lost that one, too. Sorry, Eugene.
Yeah.
Did anybody see the Monday night game with Houston and New Orleans?
I did not, but I heard it was good.
It was amazing. It was
Drew
amazing.
Brees brought him back.
Yeah, in the last 3 seconds or whatever.
Wow.
I was actually wearing my Abita tank top on Saturday, probably looking like a big LSU fan.
Yeah, purple.
Downtown, I didn't realize what I was doing. I'm getting a lot of funny looks.
Yeah. What did you do after after Slipknot, because we stayed out kind of late that night, right? So
Yeah, well, I
was
went
pretty
home.
worthless the next day.
Didn't do a lot of anything, to tell you the truth.
My wife was thrilled.
What was that,
Yeah.
Saturday?
Yeah, it was
You
Saturday
had
night.
a family fishing outing this weekend, right?
Yeah, so
How'd that go?
went well. We caught 8 or 10 and probably 6 keepers. And Nick Culp, shout out to Nick Culp. He is the
He went with us to Slipknot as
yeah.
well.
He did. He went Slipknot
Yankee
with us.
Nick.
Yeah,
my
Yankee
favorite
Nick.
Yankee.
He is, because he is a Texan at heart. Because he is everything hunting and fishing, where I fail sometimes. He filleted them up and cooked them up, and it was amazing. We caught some panfish and some bass.
Oh, Nick and I are going to go dove hunting this Friday.
There you go.
Cool.
There you go.
Yeah.
He actually set up his decoys in my front yard, and we brought in like 6 or 8. Yeah,
Cool.
in my front yard.
Maybe he'll bring me some good luck.
Maybe. Turns out we've just been hunting wrong.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
Leave it to you, Yankee, to figure it out.
Yeah. So
It's 9/11.
it is
Today
9/11.
is 9/11.
Do we want to get into that?
Moment of silence.
Well, let's at least tell our 9/11 stories. It was our JFK moment, right?
Yeah.
So-
It's our generation for sure.
Yeah, for our generation, it was
Everybody.
our JFK moment. So, Matthew, where were you on 9/11?
I was waking up to a phone call.
Okay. Yeah, your dad was in the air, right?
Yeah. At the time, yeah, I woke up to. I didn't know that, but he was on a trip for flying domestically, and I got a phone call before I went to my first college class at the time.
And for the people, for the one person who might not know this, Matthew's father is a longtime pilot for American Airlines.
Yeah, so he was flying actually from, I want to say Philadelphia to Chicago.
Right. And Chicago was originally rumored to be one of the targets.
Yeah, I don't know that, but
Yeah.
it probably was. Terry Lynn McDonough called the house
Okay.
that morning asking where he was and if we had heard anything, not knowing what was going on. At the time, I left my TV on overnight, and it happened to be on Channel 8, like ABC News.
It was on
Good
every
Morning
channel.
America, Good Morning America, whatever it
Yeah.
was.
Right.
Didn't think much of her phone call. She told me what the deal was and went on about my business. Saw the TV, didn't think much of it. Went to school like normal, 9:30 class. I think I had on Tuesday, Thursdays at that point, and then it was an art class. Walked in, they pretty much just dismissed it, and went to the community center, the area, commons area downstairs where they had a big TV, ping pong tables, that thing, and watched it and didn't see the second plane hit, but that's probably when they let us out, I
Right.
think. And
Y'all
then we
need to
saw
go
that
home
we saw the
today.
towers fall there, and that's when it got real.
What about you, Jason?
Let's see here. I believe it was a Tuesday, right?
I think it was.
Yep.
I had the day off that day, and so I slept in. And I woke up to my mom telling me about it and watched the second plane hit on TV.
Mm-hmm.
And I just remember for the rest of that day and maybe the next couple days just kind of wondering what would the next
What it
shoe
meant.
to drop was going to be, if we were at war or,
I was not necessarily a super aware. I was a senior.
Yeah, not aware at all.
I was kind of an unobservant kid or whatever. And I remember after I was in Coach Bigelow's class, in government class actually, and Patty Gutierrez stuck her head in. She had gone to the bathroom or something. She stuck her head in and said, "A plane just flew into the World Trade Center." And there was a lot of misinformation, like, "Oh, it was a Cessna."
My
it was an
initial thought was a
accident.
Cessna accident, and
Right.
then I
Single engine.
I saw it and didn't think anything of it.
Right. And then
some reason.
I can't remember who let us know a second one had flown in. And at that point, they cut us from class. Me and a couple of other people grabbed a big TV, took it to the auditorium, and they basically sent every class in there, and we all just sat and watched it. I remember being kind of an unobservant kid, understanding something had fundamentally shifted.
Yeah,
Like there was definitely
you knew it was. Times have changed.
the world
Yeah.
changed forever that day.
It influenced my. I didn't know it right then, but that was when the military popped into my head about being a viable option for going forward. And I graduated. That was in September of 2001. Graduated in May of 2002 and enlisted in October of 2002.
I think the military popped in a lot of people's heads because we weren't
Yeah.
sure if there was
You hear
going to be
that
a
all the time.
draft or not.
Right.
We were There were a lot of questions to be answered.
Yeah.
A lot of confusion.
Still is a lot of confusion over it, honestly. I mean, if we're talking, there's some weird unanswered questions, and it's just a really sad day. But, it sounds cliche. We look back on the Facebook feeds, and everybody talks about 9/12, and I do miss that 9/12 because we are as far from 9/12 today.
Yeah, we're divided now, but there for a little while, if anything positive can come from that.
Yeah.
If you remember anything at all, it's
It was
the way
different.
this country
Yeah,
came
It
together
was awesome.
It
for a
must-
short period
That
of time.
part was.
9/12/2001 must have felt very similar to 1776 America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we were together.
As far as being
To
all
be
doing the same
fair,
thing.
I'm a kid of the '80s, and I remember in the late '80s, and the country didn't seem so divided back then. I mean, it sounds kind of silly, but you see like Bruce Springsteen videos, Born in the USA, and that everyone was American.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
proud to be
Then.
so.
And it felt that way again for a minute after 9/11. It's sad that that's what it took, but
Yeah.
I know we're far from that now.
I worked at the Quick Check in Celeste, and we had gas lines 5 cars
Yeah,
long.
I
all
remember
night
that
long.
too.
I had to work that night. I remember.
Yeah. I worked at the Leonard Service Center.
I always remember 9/11 because
bet
the
you were busy.
weekend, the weekend prior, Jim and I had
think I
gone
called
to
in.
that American Head Charge show.
Yeah.
That's where we had been at these metal shows in San Antonio and Corpus Christi, and we drove back so I could go to work that day.
Right.
The next day, we were going to go to Tulsa to catch the show.
And
we
did go to Tulsa.
did go to Tulsa to catch the show. I remember thinking, I should look at the website to see, and they're not updating the website based on 9/11
No.
in 2001.
No.
So, boy, me
it
and
took
Jim,
like coding or something.
me and,
to do that.
me and Jim drove all the way up to Tulsa to Kane's Ballroom, and it was locked up tight and not a soul around
Not a
in that
tour
town.
bus
We
even.
saw a
Yeah,
group,
everything was canceled.
we saw a group of weirdos pounding out homemade instruments walking around downtown, and then we went to the center of the universe, from what I understand, where it echoes in your ear.
Oh.
And the town's kind of cool. And then we left. That's all we did.
you guys remember how long it took for sporting events to come back? It was a couple of weeks, right?
And I remember David Letterman's "It's Okay to Laugh Now" speech.
I do
right?
remember that. Yeah.
Right. That was a big day.
Yeah.
Man, if he only knew how people treated 9/11
Yeah,
now.
it seemed like everything, as we got back to normal day to day, everything was really powerful. I remember watching the Cowboys. I think it was George Teague
Everything
comes running
meant
out of the
something.
tunnel with the American flag, and
Little things that wouldn't have meant
Yeah,
anything prior
Sammy Sosa.
now stand
yeah,
now really mean a lot more than they did.
Wasn't it Sammy Sosa? He was a Cub, and he ran the outfield with the American flag.
Yeah,
and ran it like hauled
not
booty.
to talk about the Aggies too much, but the Aggies had a red, white, and blue out.
Right.
And so everyone in the stands was wearing red, white, and blue, and they had USA spelled out on the field, and I remember that too.
And then Toby Keith.
Yeah, Toby Keith decided to cash in.
My dad got stuck in Chicago for 5 days,
Yeah.
6 days.
Yeah, I
Because,
remember
they
talking to
obviously
you about
took
that.
all the planes out of the sky for a week or so.
Wasn't that weird looking in the sky and not seeing
Nothing.
a
Never.
plane flying
I mean,
over?
you look at the traffic on one of those radars of daily traffic in the air in America. It is insane, and
Yeah.
there was nothing.
My executive officer in the unit that I'm in now, he was a brand new officer flying C-130s, and he was in the air when 9/11 happened, and they had jets scrambled and stuff, and it's interesting. We should have him on and tell his story about it as a fresh lieutenant, flying.
Wow,
Kind of interesting story.
what that must have been like.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of them.
And here we are, 18 years later, still fighting.
Have you been to the memorial in
I have.
Manhattan?
I have.
I haven't.
It's pretty.
I haven't been back to New
pretty
York,
moving.
to be honest. I'm trying to lay low. I'm
I
not
have
sure.
to buy another Slipknot album when you
Might
go.
be.
Are
in
you
trouble.
not allowed back there? Is
Maybe.
that why?
Maybe.
What? Just to get into that, what was the purpose of the New York drive?
Randy and I just decided to go somewhere. I think we
And by
actually.
the way, Randy went
This
on
is
to
high
be
school.
went on to be an Army Ranger.
This
and
is
fought
right
in Afghanistan.
This is the winter
Free
after-
Spirit.
Yes, the winter.
high school
First winter right after I graduated high school, probably 6 months out. And Randy and I were roommates.
Okay.
And we got a wild hair and wanted to drive somewhere. We actually flipped a coin, I believe, between New York and Los Angeles. And I'm kind of glad we didn't go to L.A.
Well, that would have been rough if you
That's a
got
worse
stuck along
drive.
the way. Yeah.
Yeah, I took, I think, a week's paycheck and a small Christmas bonus. And Randy, I believe, quit his job to go. And we went the
Intelligent
it was
decisions
the
were made.
weekend between Christmas and New Year's. Of course, it was really cold in New York, and we didn't have a map.
What are you driving?
Randy had a Chevy Malibu, I think it was black in color, four-door
I was
Malibu.
imagining,
It was
like,
pretty
not a-
nice car.
Not like a 1970s.
No.
Malibu.
I'm sorry,
No.
but I always imagine this story in the red Dodge.
No,
Really?
the gas would have killed us. We wouldn't have made
Yeah,
it. Yeah,
but I always imagine that's how it went.
See,
I don't
I
know
would've-
why.
yeah,
I
that would
imagine
That'd be
it.
tough to sleep in, though.
Now, I could get into this a little bit, but some of this story is incriminating.
Well, first of all, when you say you imagine it in the red Dodge, I imagine this as like a Kurt Vonnegut road trip story, like it was done in like a '69 Roadrunner or something. I don't know.
yeah, I can tell you this. At 18 years old, I thought of myself as really independent, and I mentioned to my mother I wanted to do this. She begged me not to go, right?
She's
said, I
older and
can't-
wiser.
Yeah, she said, I can't tell you what to do. I'm going to ask you not to go, but I can tell you don't ask me for money. Don't get up there, run out of money, and guess what happened? We got up there and ran out of money
Yeah.
quick. It's expensive in
It
New York.
is.
But
Really
you didn't
expensive.
ask her though, did you?
They say don't
Uh,
get lost up there because you can't afford to get back.
Yeah, Randy and I discussed it, and luckily, I was rat holing a little bit of money in my sock.
You didn't tell him that though, did you?
I didn't tell Randy because I
Sold
don't.
some- sold some
If Randy's
stuff.
listening to this and he wants to add some things, feel free to. Maybe we'll have him on someday. But Randy wasn't really good with money at the time, so I rat holed a little bit, thinking this might pay off in a pinch.
Sold some cards.
And
pack of
that wasn't even enough.
Petey.
So we ran out on the way back, and
Where?
Oh shoot, somewhere around Pennsylvania.
Oh, so not like
Yeah,
not
so
Arkansas.
listen, Randy, for not being good with money, Randy was really crafty in a pinch,
Yeah.
and he had a lot of ideas. So we may or may not have yahooed a tank of gas or two. We did a
Derek,
dine
and,
and
Derek and I have a similar story.
we did a dine and dash after starving for over a full day.
Oh,
We
how
we-
bad do you feel right now?
They did.
pretty bad. We did a dine and dash at Cracker Barrel, and
Y'all-
I don't even know what state.
Y'all did intermittent fasting before it was cool.
We did, and so we go into this Cracker Barrel. Randy says, well, I think this is pay at the table, right?
Right.
Which played to our
make you
hand
feel better.
because we had no money.
Right.
So Randy says, this is pay at the table. Let's go. And we wanted something to eat. We wanted some chicken fried steak,
Yeah.
and, we were hungry.
Grandma's
We hadn't
catfish.
eaten a day at least, and we're 18-year-old boys. We got to eat. So he says, Cracker Barrel. It's right on the interstate. Pay at the table, which it turned out to not be pay at the
Not,
table.
yeah.
I don't know if anybody at all has ever been to a Cracker Barrel. There's a store,
Yeah.
and that's where they want you to pay.
Yeah.
Not at the table. You don't give your card to a
Go
waitress.
shop too.
You have to go to a register like you do at the grocery store. So we decide we're going to go in there and eat. We get big meals. We're bulking.
Well, you're just trying
We're carb loading
yeah.
because we got
It's a
another
long
day's
drive.
drive home with no food or gas. So we knowingly that we're going to smash all this food and then jet out of there. So Randy's plan was, and it sounded brilliant to my 18-year-old mind at the time, one of us would get up, go to the bathroom, leave the restaurant, get the car, pull it around. The other would go to the bathroom, come out. We're out of there.
Yeah. Textbook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
18-year-olds,
I've seen
man, we
enough
got it all figured
movies.
out,
Yep.
right? So here we go. Randy says, all right, go get the car. And I'm like, Randy, this plan's not going to work, man. It's not pay at the table. He's like, never mind that. Just get the car, pull it around to this fire escape on the side of this Cracker Barrel. I'm like, all right. So I drive by the window, the front of this place, right? And I could see him inside. I'm in the driver's seat of his car. And he's like, just pull around here, get the car by the fire escape. Well, Randy, who was an exceptional athlete, right, in high school, and very intense individual,
Yes.
Randy comes busting out the side fire exit. Well, when you do that, I don't know if anybody's ever opened a fire exit
Or
at a
red
restaurant.
one.
They
But
go off.
An alarm goes
Siren.
off. Yeah, an alarm. And it's loud. And everybody's notified. So here comes Randy. Yeah, it sounded like that. So here comes Randy. When I see Randy out the door, he's hollering, go, go, go. Right? So
But you're not in the car yet.
No, I'm driving the
Yeah,
car.
oh, I mean, he's not.
Yeah, he's not. He's go, go, go. So I guess he thought he would just catch up, I'm in a car. He's on 2 feet. Well, behind Randy comes the entire staff. And they got bread rollers and meat cleavers and
And a plan.
Yeah,
Sickles.
yeah. They've been here before.
Today, probably.
somebody else
They
has
could
done
tell
this.
when you went to the bathroom.
So Randy dives headfirst into the passenger window of this car while I'm trying to punch it. Front wheel drive, so when you mash the gas, the steering wheel goes berserk. and Randy's feet are hanging out. He's go, 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 go. Feet hanging out. People are pulling him, trying to pull him out of the car.
Jeez.
I'm tearing down the road. We end up going the wrong way on a one-way, and somehow we're going the wrong way on the interstate.
Oh.
Yeah. So then we had to take back roads for the rest of that day.
I'm glad Randy's no longer in the military because that might would have lost his clearance.
Yeah, long story short, we coasted into Texas on fumes.
In a prayer.
Yeah, and we made it home, man, but we decided that we wouldn't do that again.
Yeah, welcome back.
There's more to that story, but the rest of it's even more incriminating than that. I'm sorry, Cracker Barrel. I've ate there before, and I tip well.
No.
So
Did you see any cool sights?
yeah, we saw all kinds of cool stuff, man. New Jersey's beautiful.
Yeah.
And we didn't have a map, so we ended up somehow in upstate New York. We missed Long Island altogether.
Oh, man.
So we came in at the Bronx.
Probably didn't miss it,
Yeah, I don't know what we're doing.
to be honest.
Yeah, we were jamming, playing air
Did you
drums.
really miss it?
It was cool, though. It was cold.
I love
Yeah.
New York.
We rode the subway. We had no money, so we couldn't do a lot, so we just walked around.
Yeah.
TRL. I saw Carson
Oh,
Daly
cool.
through the window.
Yeah, right on.
Then I bought a Slipknot album with what little money I had.
At that
Probably
C-
shouldn't
at that
have bought
CD
it.
Yeah.
store.
That would have been a tank of gas.
At that Virgin?
Yeah, at the Virgin.
Oh, cool.
That's probably $20.
I remember one of the only things I remember about the Twin Towers actually is there was a Sam Goody in the bottom of it.
Yeah,
Like
and
at
now
one time, I never went to
have,
the top, but I walked past him in between the two buildings. There was a Sam Goody. And
I
that's
can
a weird
say this.
memory I have.
I have laid eyes on the towers as they stood before 9/11.
Right. That's all I
I'm
can say.
fortunate
too.
enough to say that.
I never did.
Walk
I
past
didn't,
them.
I didn't go to the city until...
I think my family has all been up, but I wasn't on that trip.
No. I didn't go to the city until 2006.
Yeah, New York is not a place for two 18-year-old Texans, and it's not a
No,
place for an
it's-
automobile.
No.
They don't tell you that in the
Yeah,
brochures.
you're going to be paying out your
Yeah, every
nose.
car there is a taxi cab or a police car there, and
There's no
maybe
gas
occasional
stations either.
limousine.
You got to know to get gas outside of
Yeah.
the city, too. There's not
Yeah.
one gas station on the...
So everywhere you parked, you got a ticket, or
Yeah.
Randy got a ticket. It was his car, and I think he tore him up.
I should watch the Simpsons Go to New York episode.
Yeah. I
It's
feel like
funny.
we just desecrated the 9/11 memory, though.
Yeah,
we did,
kind of.
with my awful memory.
I'll never forget.
Thanks a lot, Randy.
So that was episode 3 with Hannah. We've got episode 4 coming up with
And Jim McDonald, and this is going to go
Jimmy Chimichanga.
Sunday at 4 o'clock. It
Chonga
should be
Lloyd.
live before then, so it might be interesting to see if anybody shows up to watch. Maybe
yeah.
Oh, is he bringing an entourage?
I don't. I just figured we'd tell the time.
Yeah, see if anybody shows
If
up.
anybody shows up, they get to watch
Yeah. Might, they
from
should
the
go,
outside, not from inside.
They should go by and bring us snacks from Bluebonnet.
We'll open
then they
the-
come inside.
Yeah.
We'll open the blinds. They can
Yeah.
just watch us like I watched Carson Daly.
Yeah, that'd be cool. There you
TRL
go.
live.
Now look at that transition, man.
Yep.
So I guess that's it for us on after the siren here.
Yeah.
Anything else, gentlemen?
I'd like to hear Dallas.
You want to take it out with Dallas?
Can we do that?
Play
I'm
us out.
gonna do the routine, Miss
All right.
Becky, if you're listening.
All right, on the count of 3.
There we go.
1, 2, 3.
Step it off.